So I'm gonna go in complete detail and explain what I'm talking about, so that way people can understand fully of what I mean. You see my character here, right? See how my character has like these range normals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you see how like my character has to play neutral, right? Like a lot of his shit is highs. We can all acknowledge that, right? A lot of his shit is highs, right? But he's not like he's not breaking neutral. Like he's not breaking neutral at all. Like he's playing neutral. He has to play neutral. As you can clearly see right here, I have to do this and capitalize off of the errors that you actually make, right? Now, keep in mind, my projectile has good speed on it. It's pretty quick, 14 frames. It's plus good block damage, aka chip damage. You know what I'm saying? Leaves him plus. You know, he has a pretty solid shadow kick with some good range. Obviously, you know, because of the active frames, his startup time is a lot slower. But obviously, when he's close, he's hitting on that first available frame. That's 11 frames. So you kind of see like what I'm showing you guys, right? Just the bare minimum. I'm not even showing you everything, right? You see how my character's playing? He has to play neutral, which that's what the developer stated, right? My character has to play neutral in order to succeed. I have to capitalize off of the errors that you make, and I have to read you and punish certain shit. That's literally Johnny in a nutshell. That's literally Johnny in a nutshell. I'm not even joking, right? And he has a little bit of pressure, such as the plus frames with the stagger or whatever, and then he can go into like a throw. But that's like his basic ass mix up. Other than that, he's not hitting you with an overhead and converting that into a full combo. He's not hitting you with a low consistently, and I'm talking about in terms of like mixing the shit out of you. He's just checking your walking. That's what this back three is so good for. It's not just, oh, I just throw it out because I think the opponent's gonna neutral couch. It's good for checking people walking backwards and shit like that. That's what people don't understand about, you know, competitive shit. Right now, I'm gonna get off of Johnny, right, because I'm exposing too much. Let's look at Sub-Zero, right? Let's see how Sub-Zero plays in this game, right? All right, he got a back one, 14 frames, you know, relatively the same startup time. You know what I mean? Obviously, his hit slash hurt box is a lot different because his normals are different than Johnny's, right? So, you know, hitting him is a little bit different than hitting Johnny's normals, right? Because you can hit Johnny's normals just with a simple down four, right? So he has a solid down four right here. Back two ain't looking that great. You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden you get straight to the meat and potatoes of this motherfucker, right? And you're like, okay, well, what can I do in the neutral, right? Like, what do I have in the neutral? Oh, I have a fuck neutral slide that's 11 frames on startup. Huh. Okay, and it has really good range to where if I'm in this range right here, I'm conditioning the opponent to block low. So basically, I'm destroying neutral, and they have to worry about that. So even if we are within this range of each other, and we're trying to bait each other, you understand what I'm saying? And we're trying to figure out how to, you know what I mean, open each other up and shit. Oh, okay. Well, I can just stick it on them. I don't have to worry about that. I can just stick it on them. Right now, let's look at something else. Oh, ice ball that completely just denies what you just did on the opposing side if you chuck a projectile at him. Oh, just to prove my point even further. Let's do it. Oh wow, look at that. You just took 14% for no reason. Wow, that's fair, and it was meterless. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, if I'm within a certain range. Oh, that's even worse for the opponent because now, wow, you just took almost 20%, and you're possibly gonna be forced to break because you have to deal with this bullshit KD that I have. Okay, now we're gonna get even deeper into this. This is when it gets funny because pokes got buffed up in this game, which they needed to be buffed up. Now this gives the character something stupid. After he gets this down one, you can get jailed off of the 1-2, possibly the 2-1, but mainly the 1-2, the back three. Mainly, or they'll mash a double down one, right? Keep in mind, I got a 6 frame down one, right? So I'm golden on that, right? Now I hope you guys can understand where I'm going with this. But before I get to that, oh wait, I got a fucking destroyer of projectiles type move. You know what I mean? Where I can also get a combo on you as well. It's not a knockdown. It's where I can get a combo on you. Yeah, that makes sense, especially in a game where projectiles don't clash. All right, now. What happens if I get in on this dude and I get the hit advantage? Wow. 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 That's skill right there. That's skill. I had to play neutral. No, I have something that destroys neutral. Two things that destroy neutral. Technically three when I meter burn, right? And then when I get in, I'm mashing down one to high heaven, right? I might create a spacing situation with the 1-2 maybe the back one, check you with the down 4 every now and again, you know what I mean? Just in case you're trying to get a little handsy because you think I'm gonna go for that back one, I'm gonna advance forwards with my forward 4 to get the plus frames. Yeah, you see what I'm working with. You see what I'm working with. I take a lot of skill. I take a lot of muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? I take a lot of thinking on. You know what I'm saying? You know, my brain is just completely off, right? Yeah, I'm playing neutral, right? I have shit that destroys the neutral, and when I get in, I'm not even working to open up the opponent. I'm actually just turning my brain off and just being on autopilot.
I'll tell you something. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of all the dumb things that go on around here.
This is what the fuck I mean. MK11 versus MKX. I hope this cleared shit up of what I was talking about in that video, because I'm kind of tired of people trying to go all around the mulberry bush about what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. I get so sick and tired of shit. You know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this bullshit. I'm not saying Sub-Zero's out here winning tournaments. I'm not saying, you know, Sub-Zero is the best character in the game, but high-level players did state that, you know, he is S tier online. I mean, there was even times where Sonic Fox didn't even want to go against Ninja Killer when Ninja Killer tried to pick Sub-Zero. Here's the thing, right? When the developers state that this game is going to be based around neutral and mix-ups are going to determine a fight, right? This is what I'm talking about, okay? My character is playing MK11. He's playing neutral, right? I have to play neutral with Spawn. In order to open you up. I have to mind fuck you in order to fuck your shit up, right? I'm not just mixing you and just doing whatever the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. I'm not breaking neutral by any means at all. I'm playing neutral. I have to play neutral. That's how these two characters have to be played. Same thing with Joker. Joker is a setup / spacing character, okay? Sub-Zero is an MKX character. He is not a MK11 character. Even though he's in MK11, he is not an MK11 character. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the most experienced Sub-Zero player in the world. I don't give a fuck who you are. At the end of the day, you're not gonna lie to me and act and basically try to tell me, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, because here's the thing. There's a complete difference between both of the players, okay? I have to play neutral, but you mean to tell me once you pick Sub-Zero, you basically just said fuck neutral. As soon as you pick Sub-Zero, you basically just said fuck neutral. You literally just told me fuck neutral when you pick Sub-Zero. You basically just told me that. And you also basically just said, yo, I want to play MKX. That's what I want to play. I don't want to have to use my brain 100% of the time to successfully open niggas up. I don't want to have to do that. Why do that when they gave me what I wanted, which is Sub-Zero, a character that conditions you to block low majority of the time, okay? Because it's a scrubby way for him to get in. This character's scrubby. I'm gonna just say it straight up. I understand some people are gonna get offended and stuff like that, and you know it's okay. You know, I said what I said, but I'm not taking it back. He's scrubby. And like I said, I'm not saying that Sub-Zero is the best character in the world. I never said that. I never said that he's out here winning major tournaments. I am strictly talking about the fact that he is not playing neutral. That is something that I keep repeating because apparently to some people, they don't necessarily understand the concept of neutral. Okay? And that's where the problem's coming at. And I showed you guys some examples, and I even exposed how ridiculously easy it was to play Sub-Zero. And that was just the bare minimum. That's what my issue is the fact that I have to play neutral. I have to work to whoop that ass. I have to work to get you to submit. I have to get you to create certain errors to where I can capitalize off of the shit that you do. Same thing with Spawn. I'm spacing you out. I'm actually doing shit. I have to actually think. I have to do this. I have to do that, because I'm not a mix-up character. I can't just, oh, let me walk up on this nigga. Let me just break neutral and then just mix. No, you can do that with Sub-Zero. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. You're not playing neutral. I've gone against Sub-Zeros where they would wave dash, or like they would attempt to wave dash, and it was ugly looking ass wave dash if you ask me. And some of these niggas would like walk backwards and forwards as if they're truly playing neutral when they use this character, and I'm just like, you're not actually playing neutral, dude. Your character breaks neutral. The moment you pick this character, you basically just said fuck neutral. That's literally what you just said. That's literally what you just said without even saying it. You want to play MKX. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more to this video because I understand some people are gonna have some pitchforks and they're gonna probably talk about Johnny. Well, what about Johnny? What about Johnny? Okay, we'll get to Johnny, and I'm gonna add Joker in this too because Joker is in the same boat as Johnny. Both of these characters have a very interesting hurtbox issue when they crouch block, but Johnny is slightly bigger than the Joker when they both crouch block, right? So I'm gonna show you guys that shit real quick, and you're gonna see the difference here. If you notice, Johnny is slightly bigger than the Joker right here. Okay. Slightly bigger, right? Now, we got that out of the way. That is an issue that I do think is very weird, right? Now, oh, by the way, nobody's bringing up this issue with his straight force balls, right? How they whiff. Yeah, how they whiff. Yeah, nobody's bringing that up, though. Now, here's the thing, right? Another thing. If you use his fatal blow, right? I am a firm believer that this should be gone. I've mentioned this numerous times, and the same thing applies with Joker because Joker is another character that has access to this, right? Now, another thing, right, is that I even stated that Johnny should have a flawless block gap in his last hit, okay? Where he is susceptible to getting up 2'd or up 3'd, right? I literally made a video talking about it, and people are probably going to have an argument, well, he has a bunch of highs. Baraka has a bunch of highs. Shao Kahn has a bunch of highs. So let's stop the cap. And those characters have flawless block gaps in their combo string. So why shouldn't Johnny have a flawless block gap in his main bread and butter, which is his 1-2-1 and his 1-2-4? He needs to have a gap in this 1-2-1. Okay, you can keep the frame data the same. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Okay, but this 1-2-1 is going to complement his 1-2-4. And what they should do is that he should be a little bit closer, and he should be +2 or +3 on block. Okay, if it successfully hits, right? Which is going to make the opponent feed into the temptation of neutral ducking, because the reward that they're going to get is an uppercut crushing blow, or they more than likely would go for like some type of combo string that leads into a crushing blow, which is like a hard knockdown, damage over time, a pop-up, whatever, right? Something that knocks you away, or they might go for a regular combo, or they might just go for a brief combo into an unbreakable fatal blow. Who the fuck knows, right? But that should be the trade-off, right? And if you fuck around and get hit, right? If you fuck around and get hit, this is what Johnny would get, right? I don't think the damage is bad on that at all, even when he puts the opponent into the corner, right? He basically just got 40% off of that, right? And on top of that, just to extend the olive branch, Johnny is 0 on block here. And he can stagger this and then on top of it, he can mind fuck somebody with this right here, because if they're focusing on flawless blocking, he could potentially grab them after that, or he could take advantage of that and steal another turn very easily. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the sky is the limit when it comes to this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's not like, you know, Johnny is just crippled when if this is the case. That's not true at all. Literally me exposing Johnny. I've even listed Johnny as having one of the best combo strings in the game when it came to his 1-4, because this used to be +6, and nigga, you were frame trapped basically. You could flawless block, but the question is like, when was he gonna do something? And that was where the problem came into play at. And of course I was trolling back then about Johnny Cage needing a nerf, but I knew they were gonna nerf him, and they had every right to nerf him. And I think the nerf is actually good, in my opinion. Of course, I do think there needs to be a slight buff to the 1-2-4 and a slight nerf to the 1-2-4, basically going back to what I said about the flawless block gap that he should have, which is in his main bread and butter. But people try to make it seem as if like Johnny would be crippled, and that's cap. That's 100% cap. If Joker has flawless block gaps, and on top of that, his 1-2-1, which is a meterless launcher, I think it is, bro, you can neutral duck that and fuck him up. And then the counter, what you try to do to him, he has a 1-2-3, I believe it is, where he hits you with a mid kick, and then he can get a combo or some shit like that, or charge up his KB on his back 4-2, which is his birdie beatdown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like let's not pretend like I haven't talked about Johnny at all. Another thing I'm gonna bring up is the fact that people try to talk about Johnny Cage's shadow kick as if like Jax doesn't have an 11 frame back forward too. That's a mix up. He can also make it safe to where he's -7 on block, and only characters with 6 frames down ones can be the only ones that punish him. Not only that, like I said, it is a mix up, and he could potentially get a KB on you if you're trying to counter what he's doing. Not only that, Sub-Zero has a incredibly fast slide. That's a side switcher. He gets a KB on it. Not only that, it's a good combo ender for him. He can knock you down and close the distance and then apply great pressure. It's also a meterless pop-up for him in the corner to where he can generate even more damage and set up a 1-2-4 KB, aka crushing blow. So I'm feeling a little perplexed here. I'm feeling a little perplexed here. If you're going to talk about Johnny Cage's shadow kick, and I'm referring to the you know what? No, I'm talking about the individual that goes by the name of Nick Ops. I'm trying to calm down. He brought up Johnny Cage, okay, and talked about his shadow kick, and then he brought up Johnny Cage doesn't need a rising star because you know, he has a solid down forward. I find that kind of comical because this is the same nigga that interviewed one of the dumbest characters in the entire game. And he interviewed basically some individual that is quote unquote the best Cabal player in the world and mains this character. I don't think he even made a video talking about Cabal. Because Cabal should have been nerfed a long time ago. Easily, a long time ago. There's no reason for him to be in the current state that he's in right now. That's why Sonic Fox said it best. He's surprised he doesn't see a lot of Cabal players in Mortal Kombat 11. I'm fucking surprised too. But you do run against them every now and again. You understand what I'm saying? But let's talk about Cabal. He claims Johnny Cage doesn't need a rising star, right? He doesn't need a 9-frame mid because the down 4 is it's already really good, right? Like, it's already solid, right? Solid like a rock, right? Which I find pretty, like, technically, it's pretty interesting that he says that, mainly because of the fact that, like, Johnny's not the only one with a solid down 4. Jade has a really good down 4 that spaces her out way more than Johnny, and she's safe on it. And she can cancel it as well. Like, I mean, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about with that, right? Let's talk about Cabal's 9-frame mid, which there are certain other characters as well that I don't even think should have a 9-frame mid in this game. But as you can clearly see, Cabal has a 9-frame mid, despite the fact that he has a 7-frame standing one and a 7-frame down one. That's not weird at all, is it? Now, keep in mind, he can space you out, and he's -4 on block. Keep in mind, he has no gap in this. Keep in mind, he has a 50-50 off of this. Keep in mind, I haven't even shown you the best part about this, right? The nigga's plus on block when he cancels.
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
And you don't even know when he's gonna do it, which can cause a certain dilemma. And then if you try to attack him, guess what he can actually do? He can fucking commit. And then get a meterless combo on you. Okay, what else can he do off of this? Oh, speaking of being safe, he can space it out and become -3 on block and has more spacing with it. Should I keep going? Oh, by the way, don't forget the buzzsaw. Don't forget the buzzsaw. Don't forget the buzzsaw. Now he's -1 on block. And the sky is the limit for this character. You see how many applications he can apply just off of one fucking normal? Do you see how crazy it is? Okay, let's look at Johnny, right? Let's look at Johnny. Okay. I jump in as Cabal. Anti-air. That's literally all I get is an anti-air. That's it. That's it. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. That's it. 6%. Wow. 12%. Almost 13%. Wow. And it's a knockdown. Keep in mind, check this out. Keep in mind, defensive options in this game are ridiculously fucking retarded. So it doesn't guarantee Johnny Cage anything. What? Okay. Let's see here. What else do I want to expose with my character? Because apparently people just don't lab, or they just make excuses and shit like that and try to make it seem as if Johnny didn't need a 9-frame mid. So check this out, right? You see that little gap there? That's weird because I just completely denied Johnny's ability. Like, I literally just completely denied Johnny Cage's ability to do anything about this, right? Wow. Only way that this will actually be a true block string. Oh, and even with this, only with certain characters, as you can clearly see, that rising star, it's non-existent. Look at that. Wow. Complaining about a fucking rising star that you can basically almost avoid.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Certain characters I won't cap. Certain characters though, like when you go for like his 4-3-4-4, it acts as a real block string. But with Cabal, it's a lot different. And certain other characters is a lot different. Like he'll actually whiff the rising star. So it's ballsy as fuck for you to even try and do that to him. You understand what I'm saying? Not only that, I do recall Johnny Cage's projectiles whiff on certain characters when he's going for his block string. Prime example is Joker and Kitana. I'm pretty sure you guys seen that in my online matches as well. And you know, I bring this stuff up, right? Because I'm not just talking about Johnny and exposing Johnny in a sense, right? But I'm also exposing certain other characters too. I'm not being biased here at all. I'm being brutally honest about this because I find it pretty ironic how somebody can talk about one character and throw stones over here when this nigga live in a glass house himself. You interviewed a nigga that is using one of the dumbest characters in the fucking game that barely has any flaws.
Gotcha, bitch.
I find that unbelievably hilarious in my opinion. I don't even think nigga made a video talking about how Cabal needs to be nerfed. But hey, it is what it is.
I'm gonna say it just like this. Imagine Ryu in Street Fighter 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever, right? Having a fuck neutral type special move. 2 of them, right? In Street Fighter, right? And then when he gets in, I mean, this nigga is just annihilating niggas with like constant pressure and mix-ups, right? So let's get this straight. He doesn't have to play neutral to where he kind of forces you to play his game. And then when he finally gets in, he gets to do what he kind of wants. While your character has to play neutral and doesn't have fuck neutral tools in the neutral. You see where I'm going with that?
Like I said, niggas jumping in the air like LeBron James. Motherfuckers breaking neutral with teleports and shit like that. Scorpion. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not even just Sub-Zero. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Now, teleports are more than likely going to be in Mortal Kombat 1, which, you know, I'm just going to have to take that L and just suck it up. You know what I mean? But hopefully there's like a downside to them where there's a lot more recovery. But with Raiden's teleport in that trailer, it's a little bit questionable. But at the end of the day, man, I am hyped up for MK1. I cannot wait because this game is kind of a nightmare. It makes players seem better than what they actually are, and I've been mentioning this numerous times. But I just wanted to shed light on what I mean when I talk about Sub-Zero. I'm not opening you up with fuck neutral moves. I'm not opening you up with like crazy mix-ups and shit. I'm opening you up because I'm in your head. I'm opening you up because I'm playing neutral. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm able to walk up to certain players or some players, a lot of players, and just fucking grab them because they don't know what's coming next. They don't know what the hell is going on. And that's the beauty of watching 2 high-level players play neutral, and that's what captivates me, is that type of shit. But when I'm watching someone pick like Johnny Cage, and then some nigga just comes out of nowhere and uses Sub-Zero, it's clear to me, nigga, that you don't know how to play neutral. It's clear to me, my nigga, that you intentionally picked this character because you saying fuck neutral. You don't want to play neutral. You want to play MKX, and that shit takes no fucking skill. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I exposed Sub-Zero the way that I did. Okay, it was very easy to dissect this character, by the way. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And explain why you disagree. And maybe, you know, if I see your comment, might have a conversation about it in the comment section down below. And anybody else, feel free to chime in, give your inputs on it, as long as you're talking, as long as you know what you're talking about completely, of course, because I've had a couple people that didn't know what they were talking about. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And, you know, and that's not to bash anybody. I'm just saying in general, you know. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys are doing well out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.